Hello friends, welcome back to this lecture, that is resultant of concurrent force system. So numericals on triangle law and parallelogram law. Friends, in the last video we have discussed about the different methods to determine the value of resultant, that is triangle law, parallelogram law, resolution and composition, and the polygon law. Now in today's lecture we learned some of the problems to determine the value of resultant force R by using triangle law and parallelogram law. The main thing about the triangle law and parallelogram law is that these two methods of determination of resultants are used only for two force systems. It means if there are only two forces in a system, to replace these two forces by means of a single force, we used the triangle law and parallelogram method. So in today's video or in today's lecture we are going to solve some of the numericals to determine the value of this resultant force R by using parallelogram law as well as by using the triangle law. Okay, so let's start with our first numerical. A disabled automobile is pulled by means of a rope subjected to the forces as shown. Determine the magnitude and direction of resultant using triangle law and parallelogram law. So here in this figure you can see this is a disabled automobile which can be pulled by means of the two ropes AB and AC. The forces in the rope AB is 4 kN and in the rope AC is 2 kN. And the position of these two ropes, AB is at an angle of 30 degree with respect to horizontal x and AC is at an angle of 25 degree with respect to horizontal x. And we have to determine the magnitude and direction of resultant force. It means instead of applying these two ropes, if I am applying only one rope, then how much will be the force applied in that rope and how much or where will be the location or direction of that single rope. Okay, so let's start. So here consider P is the first force P is 4 kN and the second force Q is 2 kN. So using the parallelogram law method, the resultant R is equals to square root of P square plus Q square plus twice of PQ into cos of alpha. So substituting the values, P is 4, Q is 2, so 2 into 4 into 2, and alpha is the angle between P and Q. So angle between AB and AC is equals to 30 plus this 25, that is nothing but 55 degrees. So cos of 55. Solving this we get resultant R is equals to 5.4 kilonewton. Right? Means instead of applying 4 kilonewton and 2 kilonewton two forces, we can apply one single force of 5.4 kilonewton. And the location of this force is, if I am taking theta, tan inverse of Q sin alpha divided by P plus Q cos alpha with respect to P. It means if AB is my vertical force, so if I am drawing this as a resultant force R, right, then the angle made by the resultant with respect to x-axis is we have to determine, and theta is the angle between the force P and Q. So actually theta is this angle between AB and the resultant force R, so which is equals to Q sin alpha divided by P plus 2 cos alpha. Substituting the values, we get the value of theta is equals to 17.65 degree, and therefore the angle with respect to x-axis, looking towards the geometry, to find out the angle between of R with respect to x-axis, it will be determined as a 30 degree minus this theta, we will get the angle of this R with respect to x. So 30 minus 17.65 is equals to 12.34. Means the resultant R is applied at an angle of 12.34 degree. Now The same problem we can solve it by using the triangle law also. That is, as per the statement of triangle law, here P and Q are representing the two sides of triangle drawn in order. Let's say this is the first force P, 4 kilonewton, making an angle of 30 degree, right? So wherever it ends, from the same point we have to draw the second force of 2 kilonewton, making an angle of 25 degree with respect to x-axis, and wherever it ends we have to join these 2 points, and this line will representing the resultant force R drawn from starting point of first towards the end point of second. Now after this, by applying the geometry, we have to determine the internal angles. So let's see here, this is angle 30 degree, and let's see R will be making an angle of theta with respect to x. So this total internal angle is equals to 30 plus theta. Then here, as this angle is 30, so this angle is also 30 degree. Here it is 25 degrees. So internal angle 180 minus this 30 minus 25, that is 125 degree. And then the third angle is 180 is the summation of all the angles of a triangle. So 180 minus 30 minus theta minus 125, we get here 25 plus theta. Then applying the sine rule in this given triangle, we write the equation, the ratios of a front side to the sine of the angle. That means R divided by sine of front angle is 125 is equal to 4 divided by sine of 25 plus theta is equals to 2 divided by sine of 30 minus theta. Now equating any two ratios out of these two, let's consider the second and third ratio, expanding or solving the mathematical step, making the cross multiplication, sine 30 minus theta transferred to left hand side, sine 25 plus theta transferred to right hand side, expanding the bracket, sine of A minus B is equals to sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, and sine of A plus B is sine of A into cos of B plus cos of A into sine of B. Solving the step, we get the theta as a 12.34 degree. Then substituting the value of theta over here, equating the first and second ratio, solving this, you get R is equals to 5.4 kilonewton, right? So if you see, by using parallelogram law also we get the same answer, that is 5.4 kilonewton and 12.34 degree, and by using triangle law also we get the same answers, 5.4 kilonewton and 12.34 degree. So any method we can apply to determine the value of resultant for the given two force system. The same problem we can also solve by using the resolution and composition method also. Okay. So now finally we have to draw the resultant 5.4, making an angle of 12.34 degree with respect to the x-axis. So let's see the next numerical. Determine the magnitude and direction of two forces as shown in figure. Take P equals to 100 Newton. So in the figure a hook is shown. At the end of this hook, two forces are applied, force P making an angle of 15 degree with respect to vertical, and force Q making an angle of 30 degree with respect to vertical, and the resultant of force P and Q is given acting vertically in downward direction, that is R. Now using the parallelogram law method, theta is equals to tan inverse of Q sin alpha divided by P plus Q cos alpha, where theta is with respect to force P, or you can say angle between the force P and R. So now in the figure it is clearly seen that the angle between P and R is equals to 15 degree. Therefore substituting theta as a 15, tan inverse of Q is the unknown force, sin of alpha is the angle between P and Q, so 15 plus 30 it is 45 degree divided by P as 100 plus Q into cos of 45 degree. So solving this equation we get the value of force Q as 51.76 Newton. Then Using the second, r is equals to square root of p square plus q square plus twice of pq into cos of alpha. So substituting the value of p as 100, then q as a 51.76, which we determine in the earlier step, plus twice of p into q into cos of 45. So solving this, we get r as a 141.41 Newton. Now solving the same problem by using the triangle law says that the two forces P and Q representing the two sides of a triangle drawn in order. So considering P acting in downward, making an angle of 15 degree with respect to vertical. So wherever the force P ends, from that point we have to draw the second force Q, making an angle of again 30 degree with respect to vertical, and joining the starting point of first to the end point of second by means of a line. We called it as a representing the resultant force R. As it is given, R is a vertical force, so this line will be vertical in nature. Then after completing the triangle, let's determine the internal angles. So here this angle is given as a 15 degree, the angle made by P with respect to vertical. Then here this angle is given 30 degree, the angle made by Q with respect to vertical. So as this is 15 degree, this angle is also 15, so the internal angle is 180 minus 15 minus 30, that is 135 degree. Then this is 15 degree, this is 135 degree, so remaining angle 180 minus this 135 minus 15 is equals to 30 degree. Now applying the sine rule, R divided by the front angle sine of 135 is equals to P, that is 100, divided by the front angle sine of 30 is equals to Q divided by the front angle sine of 15. Now equating the first two ratios, R upon 135 is equals to 100 upon sine 30, we get R as a 141.42 Newton. Then equating second and third ratio, 100 divided by sine 30 is equals to Q divided by sine of 15, we get Q as a 51.76, which are the same as we have determined in case of parallelogram law also, that is R 141 and Q 51. So here also R is 141 point and Q is 51 point. Now let's see one more problem. Determine the components of F1 and F2 so that the resultant of two forces is 20 kilonewton vertically upward. Now it is given as here F1 and F2 are the two forces acting 30 degree with respect to x-axis F1 and acting at 60 degree with respect to x-axis F2, and the resultant of these two forces F1 and F2 is given as a vertically in upward direction, and the value of the resultant force is equals to given as a 20 kilonewton. Now here by mistakenly it is written 0, it's 20. So as again it's a two force system, you can solve this problem by using parallelogram law or by using triangle law. So let's solve this problem by using both the methods one by one. So first using parallelogram law, applying the first equation, theta is equals to tan inverse of F2 sin alpha divided by F1 plus F2 cos of alpha, where this theta is with respect to F1. So this angle between the R and the force F1 is equals to theta. So theta is equals to tan inverse of this. So substituting the value of theta, as we know here this angle is 30 degree, so theta is equals to 60 degree. Then F2 sin of alpha, alpha is the angle between the force F1 and F2, that is here it is 30 degree, here it is 60 degree, so 180 minus 30 minus 60, it is remaining is 90 degree. So sine of 90 divided by F1 plus F2 cos of 90. So solving this, we get one simultaneous equation in terms of f1 and f2. Now the second equation, r is equals to square root of f1 square plus f2 square plus twice of f1 plus f2, f1 f2 cos of alpha. Substituting the value of r given 20 equals to f1 square plus f2 square plus twice f1 f2 alpha as a 90 degree. Squaring both the sides, so 400 is equals to f1 square plus f2 square, cos 90 is 0, so this term will get 0. So now here from equation 1 f2, if you transfer this term 1.732 into f1 on right hand side, so f2 is equals to 1.732 f1. So substituting the value of f2 as 1.732 f1 from equation 1, we get the equation in terms of f1 only, and solving this equation finally we determine the value of f1 as 10 kilonewton, and substituting the value of f1 in equation 1, we get the value of f2 as a 17.32 kilonewton. Now solving the same problem by using the triangle law. So the first force F1 making an angle of 30 degree, F1 making an angle of 30 degree and F2 will be making an angle of 60 degree. So you can take any one force as a first. So let's say here F2, I will take the first F2 making an angle of 60 degree here with respect to x-axis. So wherever it ends from that point, the second force F1 making an angle of 30 degree with respect to x-axis, and wherever it ends, the starting point of first and the end point of second, that will be drawn or joined by means of a vertical line, as r is given to be vertically upward. So here this vertical line of the triangle will represent the value of force r. Now after completing the triangle, determining the angles, so F2 will be making an angle of 60 degree with x, so this internal angle is equals to 30 degree. Then F1 will be making an angle of 30 degree with respect to x, so this 30, so this angle is also 30, so the internal angle remaining is equals to 60, that is 90 minus this 30, 60 degree. Now as this is 60 degree, this is 30 degree, so this total internal angle is equals to 90 degree. Now applying the sine rule, so r divided by front angle sine of 90, that is equals to F1 divided by front side angle sine of 30, and F2 divided by front side angle sine of 60. So equating first and second ratio, substituting the value of r as 20, we get F1 as a 10 kilonewton. Then taking second and third ratio, F2 is equals to 17.32 kilonewton. Then one more question. Two forces are applied as shown using the trigonometry, and knowing that the magnitude of P is 60 Newton, determine the angle alpha if R is given to be horizontal, and determine the corresponding magnitude of the resultant. So here again a horizontal hook is shown where two forces are applied. One of the force is P making an angle of alpha, another force is 90 Newton making an angle of 30 degree. The value of P is given as a 60 Newton, and we have to determine the angle alpha, this angle made by P with respect to horizontal, and also we have to determine the value of resultant magnitude, and for that it is given that R is as a horizontal. Now solving this problem, it's a suggestion that whenever it is given all the three sides, or whenever the angle is missing, we don't have the total value alpha, the angle between P and Q, it is better to go by using the triangle law. We can solve the problem by using parallelogram law method also, but it will create a more complex equation. So we are solving this problem by using the triangle law. So using triangle law, draw the triangles, that is considering the first force P making an angle of alpha with respect to horizontal, which is given 60. Wherever it ends, from that point draw the second force 90 Newton making an angle of 30 degree here with respect to horizontal, and joining the starting point of first to the end point of second by a horizontal line, as it is given that resultant is horizontal. Now after completing the triangle, let's determine the internal angles. So this angle is equals to alpha, then here this angle is 30 degree, this angle is alpha, so this is alpha, this one is 30, and as this is 30, this is alpha, so remaining internal angle is 180 minus 30 minus alpha, 150 minus alpha. So as this is alpha, this is 150 minus alpha, the remaining angle is 30 degree. Now in the given triangle, let's write down the sine equation. So r divided by the front side sine of 150 minus alpha, then 60 divided by front side sine of 30, and 90 divided by front side angle sine of alpha. Now equating the second and third ratio, we get the alpha as 48.59 degree. Then taking the first and second ratio, substituting the value of alpha over here, we get the value of resultant force R as 117.63 Newton. Now solve one more problem. So it is given two forces P as 20 Newton, Q as 30 Newton making an angle of 120 degree with each other. What will be the value of resultant? So P is 20, Q is 30, and the angle between P and Q is given 120 degree. So it is two force system. Again we can solve this by using triangle law or parallelogram law method. But now as nothing is mentioned about P where it is acting about Q, so if we solve this problem by using parallelogram law, immediately we get the answers. So using the parallelogram law equation, R is equals to P square Q square twice of PQ cos of alpha, substituting the value of P as 20, Q as 30, alpha as a 120, R is equals to 26.45 Newton. Similarly theta as tan inverse of Q sin alpha divided by P plus Q cos alpha, so theta is 79.1 degree with respect to P. So these are the few examples to determine the resultant for two force system using the triangle law and parallelogram law. All these examples you can solve by using the resolution and computation method also. Okay, so in the next video or in the next lecture, we learn some more numericals based on the other method of determination of resultant. Thank you.